time is 3 minutes past 6. My name is Michelle Ukemo with the News Express. Imo Speaker can't declare my seat vacant, says sacked lawmaker. Pastors protest killings in Kaduna, demand massive bombing of bandits. Federal government, European Union launch electric motorcycles for rural communities. Kyiv accuses Hungary of aiding Putin. Plus, Boston Marathon bars Russian, Belarusian runners. Remember, you can log on to www.ozisaradio.com to listen to the news live in any part of the world. You can also follow this news broadcast live on our social media handles on Facebook, Ozisa 96.1 FM, and on YouTube, Ozisa 96.1 FM television. The sacked Imo lawmaker Obinna Okwara today said that the Speaker, Kennedy B, has no constitutional power to declare his seat in the Parliament vacant. Okwara, whose seat was declared vacant by the Speaker during the plenary on Wednesday for defecting to People's Democratic Party from All Progressives Congress last week, said that the Speaker was preempting the court. He said that there were over 5 cases at the Federal High Court in Owerri challenging the defecting of 17 lawmakers to APC by some groups. Okwara said that the Speaker, who defected to the PDP, then to the APC from Action Alliance since 2019, was part of the suits. He said it was sub judice for the Speaker to interfere in a matter that is already in court, in which he is a co-defendant, other than that Ibe risked a jail term. Okwara accused the Speaker of leading the Parliament astray, other than that Imo State House of Assembly is now a Fuji house of commotion. According to him, it is unfortunate that Kennedy B, in his desperation, has destroyed the integrity of the Parliament. Meanwhile, the Chief Press Secretary to the Speaker, Ifeanyi Onyekachi, said that the Speaker acted in compliance with Section 109 of the 1999 Constitution as amended before vacating Okwara's seat on Wednesday. A group of pastors under the umbrella of Interfaith Alliance have staged a peaceful protest against the incessant attacks and killings by bandits in Kaduna State. The protesters are asking the federal government to step up action against banditry with the aim of wiping them out. The protest comes days after 10 soldiers were killed and some others injured by bandits prescribed as terrorists who attacked a military base in Birnin-Gwari local government area of the state. The religious leaders marched through the major roads of Kaduna metropolis with placards of various inscriptions. They said, although the security forces are trying their best in the fight against banditry and terrorism, but their best wasn't good enough. They appealed to the federal government to implement the submissions made by Governor Nasir El-Rufai and launch a massive and precise bombing of the bandits inside the forest. In addition, they also appealed to the federal government to compensate all the victims of bandit attacks, award scholarships to children affected by banditry, and also rebuild communities ravaged by attacks. According to them, these measures will cushion the suffering of victims and make them overcome the psychological trauma they may be experiencing as a result of their attacks. The United States Council of Nnamdi Kanu pro-Biafra agitator Bruce Fein has filed a criminal complaint with the International Criminal Court, ICC, against Abubakar Malami, Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, and Minister of Justice of Nigeria. Fein also filed a criminal complaint against Justice Binta Nyako of an Abuja Federal High Court. He charged Malami and Nyako with conspiring with President Muhammadu Buhari and Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta to commit crimes against humanity. Kanu is expected to appear before Justice Nyako on Friday for charges bordering on terrorism. After spending 2 years in detention, Khan disappeared in April 2017 while on bail. His followers blamed the Nigerian authorities before he surfaced in Israel more than a year later. Last June, Khan was arrested in Kenya and repatriated to Nigeria. A physician, Dr. Lakule Motemi, has called on expectant mothers to always watch out for warning signs that may negatively affect their pregnancies as it progresses. Dr. Motemi, during an interview with newsmen in Oshobo on Wednesday, said that although the pregnancy period is to be enjoyed by mothers, the prevailing economic circumstances in the country have made it a difficult time for some women. The physician disclosed that some signs may be bad news and potent danger to the mothers and the growing fetus. He explained that the warning signs in pregnancies can be not feeling the baby peak, He explained that the warning signs in pregnancy can be not feeling the baby kick, vaginal bleeding with or without tummy pain, massive swelling in the legs and face, feeling of short breath or extreme tiredness always. He said not feeling the baby kick could mean that the baby is in distress, and without acting fast by going to the hospital, the baby may die inside the womb without the mother knowing. Also, having vaginal bleeding in pregnancy is never something to take for granted. In early pregnancy, it could be a sign of a miscarriage. In late pregnancy, it could be a sign of abnormal separation of the placenta or bleeding from the lower placenta. Mild swelling of the legs is common in pregnancy, he also said, while massive leg swelling or swelling of the face needs to be checked. Lastly, feeling extremely tired or short of breath in pregnancy may be a sign of low blood level. While warning that the signs should not be taken lightly, he explained that such symptoms should prompt expectant mothers to see a doctor immediately. And now to the business scene. The Federal Ministry of Power today in Lagos unveiled 10 electric-powered motorcycles manufactured by Max Nigeria under its electric vehicle opportunities in rural and peri-urban communities in Nigeria. The pilot project was funded by the European Union and the German Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development within the framework of the Nigerian Energy Support Program. Reports has it that the motorcycles were deployed to Bamu mini-grid solar community in Ogun State to transport goods and agricultural produce under the pilot phase of the program. Director, Renewable and Rural Power Access Department, Federal Ministry of Power, Abubakar Ali Damshima said, electric mobility was very important to the socio-economic development of rural and peri-urban communities. The Executive Director, Rural Electrification Agency, Banka Sajo, urged investors to explore the solar mini-grid sector in the country. Sajo noted that one major challenge to the sustainability of the sector was the adoption of mini-grids for productive activities. On her part, head of the section, Green and Digital Economy at the European Union delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Inga Stefanowicz, pledged the European Union support to the project. According to her, the European Union's support within the framework of NESP aims to create an open market for more investments in the renewable energy market in Nigeria. She said this was in order to advance access to reliable and affordable electricity in Nigeria, especially in the disadvantaged areas of the country. And now from the foreign scene. Ukraine today accused its neighbors, Kremlin ally Hungary, of appeasing Russian aggression and disrupting EU unity following a telephone call between the Hungarian and Russian leaders. Apparently, after the elections, Budapest moved on to the next step, helping Russian President Vladimir Putin continue his aggression against Ukraine, the Ukrainian Foreign Ministry said in a statement. Putin congratulated Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban after his party won the fourth term in general elections last week. The two leaders spoke again on Wednesday, and Orban told Putin that Hungary would be prepared to pay Russia in rubles for gas imports. Orban said that during the call, he had urged Putin to implement an immediate ceasefire in Ukraine, and he invited the leaders of France, Ukraine, and Germany to meet the Russian leader in Budapest. It noted that Hungary had been reluctant to acknowledge Russia's undeniable responsibility for atrocities, and that this could strengthen Russia's sense of impunity and encourage it to commit new atrocities against Ukrainians. And finally, from the sports scene, Russian and Belarusian runners will not be allowed to take part in this year's Boston Marathon because of the invasion of Ukraine. According to the Boston's Athletic Association, Russia and Belarusian athletes living in their respective countries are barred from the April 18 race. However, Russian and Belarusian citizens not residing in either country would not be allowed to take part, but not under the flag of either nation. The statement did not say how many Russian or Belarusian athletes had entered this year's showcase. The Boston Marathon, one of the world's major marathons, is returning to its traditional April slot this year after disruption caused by the pandemic. The race was cancelled in 2020 and then held in October in 2021 with a smaller than usual field. In 2019, the last Boston Marathon not affected by the pandemic, 59 runners in a field of more than 30,000 were from Russia and Belarus. Russia has been increasingly isolated by the sporting world following the country's invasion of Ukraine. It can be recalled that the football governing bodies, FIFA and UEFA, have suspended Russia from all international competitions, including the World Cup, while organizations such as Formula One have cancelled events in Russia. That ends the News Express this evening. On behalf of the news editor, Chiwendu Ifigati, and the entire production team at Ozisa 96.1 FM. My name is Michelle Gill. Good evening.